And who might you be?
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. I love you.
I know.
Hello everyone and welcome to Frozen in Carbonite. It's time for another randomizer chat. So let's generate a number. 166. Right everyone, set 166 is the Forgotten Masters. It's a Jedi objective, it's a 5-1, Kashyyyk traded and force reaction. After an edge battle resolves, set the balance of the force to the side of the player that won that edge battle. Cool, very interesting objective here, which sounds really good for the light side, but the way this game plays, it can be such a double-edged sword, where the force could be swinging backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and there's lots of things in this game which react to when the force changes. So this one's a very tricky one to play around with. I've not experimented much with this set. I think I've had it 1 or 2 decks back in the day, but nothing I would consider like top tier to play with. But it's an interesting mechanic, but something you have to remember of, and then remember the amount of conflicts you get involved with, especially on your turn and their turn. If you don't want to lose the force, you've got to make sure you're able to defend any attacks and keep winning the edge, which can be difficult in this game. So an interesting objective, but a difficult one. So we follow that up with the main in this set, and this main is, when you look at her, it looks pretty epic. 4 cost, 3 health, 3 pips, it's Tressar. She's a Jedi unit, she's got black gun, black bomb, white gun, white bomb, and a white tactics, and she's a character force user. And this unit gains edge 2 while you have the most units committed to the force. And those of you who know the rest of this set probably know that it is quite possible for her and the light side to have the most units committed to the force. So getting the edge 2 shouldn't, you think, be too difficult. So what's not to love about this card? Well, as a lot of people have commented in the past, she doesn't have elite, but maybe she did have elite, it would make her too powerful with this amount of icons. But saying that, with cards now out, including the new affiliation cards, maybe she could come back in if you can use the affiliation card with the reaction to remove a focus token. Maybe she isn't that bad. Aside from that, like I say, this set is built around winning edge. You want to win edge all the time for this one, and she gets 2 edge, so if you can make sure you're winning edge and you can get all these icons, she looks pretty powerful. Aside from that, I've never really had her out on the field doing the business for me, because when you're playing Jedi decks, it's always been your Lukes, your Yodas doing all the work, and she didn't really get a look in, but that's possibly because of the rest of the set. And as we move on, here we go to the age-old conundrum of this game of having 1 main followed by 2 what we call chuds. Now these Lost Masters, the good thing about them is 1 cost and 3 health, so they are pretty difficult to get rid of. So that's why they're given the funny force reaction that after this unit enters play, an opponent may spend 1 resource to return it to its owner's hand. I don't know if anyone's ever paid to put this back in the opponent's hand. It's trying to suck the dark side's resources. Sometimes they just won't do it, and they'll take the hit of letting this guy drop. And the other ruling on this guy is this unit is considered committed to the Force, so it doesn't cost a Force card. So potentially, if you had all 4 of these, you could have 4 Lost Masters and 3 people committed to the Force. So that's a lot of Force users. I remember some people pointed out, like, what do you want to use this set with? So if you've got the Obi-Wan set, which allows you to draw cards when Force users are played, there's lots of card mechanics that work off the Force user trait. What I like about this guy, aside from the art being really cool as well, he's got a black bomb. So you put him out there, he's going to stick around. So there are some combats where you just want to sort of tempt the dark side into whether they want to commit to a defense or not. And these guys are cool because they can go in, they can soak up a lot of damage. So the dark side's going to have to put a good defensive unit if he wants to take this out. Guy doesn't have to win edge to get a bomb off, so they're one of the more tastier chuds, so we can say. Only problem is, because they're considered committed to the Force, they'll get locked down easily, so when these guys do attack, they get 2 focus tokens. Now, there are some cards out there which could allow you to sort of clear focus tokens pretty quickly. One that comes to mind is the one that was in the last cycle, but it was a half objective, so I don't know sure how well that plays, but yeah, I'm thinking if you've got a lot of these guys out, and being able to clear focus could be a good strategy in getting these guys back into the game. So let me know what you think of that, if anyone's got any ideas on that. So there are the 2 of them in there, and then we've got the event card, a gift from the past. Very nice art. I love the look of the holocron and these sort of like throwbacks to the Phantom Menace with a what is type alien, a Troidarian. That's the name. Back in the background. So this event is an action: remove a target unit you control from the Force, then commit a different target unit you control to the Force. So this allows you to move around and swap around your Force cards. It's a bit weird when none of that really works with the chuds in this set, so it's mainly going to work around what else you put in this deck. So but I think it can be pretty nifty if you want to win a Force phase with someone who's got a high amount of pips, but for the following turn you don't want them to get locked down, like Tressar for instance, and you use a gift from the past to take her off the Force and keep bouncing her on and off. And last but not least, with the fate card, which helps with the bouncing of Force cards, is Echoes of the Force. You may commit a target unit to or remove a target unit from the Force. It's always been a bit of an odd, I won't say odd fate card, but one where it can be annoying, but I don't think it's ever been seen as truly powerful. I'm sure some people will attest to where this fate card has like won them or lost them games depending on what it's done. So it's situational, especially when you're in those battles with like Force users. So taking people on off the Force can be really interesting, but the synergies between these 2 cards and these cards it just doesn't really match up too well. So it'd be interesting to know what the ideas were behind this set when it was being designed, because you get the feeling there's a lot of good ideas there, but I'm just wondering what they were playing around with when they had these cards being tested. Another idea, I don't know if this got used, but back when Kanan came out, because he has the ability to put 2 drops in, dropping in these 1-cost guys can be pretty good. You've also got some smuggler cards that work on dropping in recurring back 1 cost characters. So I think it's the Hyperspace Marauder. I could get these guys back. There's lots of little things in the game which these worked with, but it's I don't think it never hit the top tier. So going forward though, does this set have potential? So as with most of my videos, I'll put the question out there: has Forgotten Masters got a place, or is it just too risky? Because everyone really wants to play Tressar, but do they really want to play the rest of it? And I think that's the big question of this set. Then again, it's probably one I wouldn't mind putting in for a surprise. See what we can do with it. So you never know. If I have any casual games soon, maybe I'll stick it in. Anyhow, I'll bring this video to the end. If anyone's got any more ideas or stories on the Forgotten Masters, please let me know. Please comment. Not had too much discussion with my videos at the moment, but there's a few people out there who like them, so the more we can reminisce and talk about them, the better. So if anyone's got any good stories about this set, please let me know. Anyway, that's the end. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.